Yo, listen up. 2026 ain't just another year. It's your stage, your empire, your spotlight. But here's the twist. The loudest moves don't come from the mouth. They come from the mind. This year, it's all about you, your grind, your vision, your evolution. Forget the noise, the drama, the clout chasers. Silence isn't weakness, it's power in disguise. When you focus on yourself, you're leveling up in ways nobody can see coming, and every move you make is calculated, intentional, unstoppable. Self-empowerment is not just a phrase you throw around to sound motivated. It's a lifestyle, a declaration, a refusal to let anyone else define your worth or dictate your path. It's about waking up every single day and making a conscious choice to put yourself first, not selfishly, but strategically, because when you are strong, focused, and confident in your own skin, the world has no choice but to respect your energy. Self-empowerment is claiming your power unapologetically, understanding that your dreams, your goals, and your happiness are not negotiable, and refusing to let fear, doubt, or other people's opinions stand in the way of your evolution. It's about looking in the mirror and seeing a force, a vision, a blueprint of everything you were meant to be, and then taking bold, deliberate steps toward that reality every single day. It's the kind of energy that makes people uncomfortable, not because you're trying to intimidate, but because they recognize a different kind of strength in you, the kind that doesn't need validation, approval, or applause to feel whole. Empowerment is realizing that your voice matters, your ideas matter, your time matters, and that the power to change your circumstances has always been in your hands. It's about setting boundaries so firm that the people who drain your energy have no space to linger. Because you understand that your time is the most valuable currency you will ever hold. Self-empowerment is discipline disguised as freedom. Showing up for yourself even when the world wants you distracted, scattered, or small. It's waking up before the sun rises and building your empire quietly, letting the results speak louder than the chatter around you. It's refusing to apologize for ambition, for excellence, for expecting more from life than mediocrity or stagnation. It's about surrounding yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and challenge you to rise while cutting loose the ones who dim your light. And understanding that this choice is not cruelty, it's survival, growth, and evolution. Self-empowerment is not about being arrogant or unapproachable. It's about cultivating a confidence so magnetic that it pulls opportunities, respect, and success toward you effortlessly. And recognizing that fear of failure is nothing compared to the regret of not trying. It's about mastering your mindset, your emotions, and your reactions, because control over yourself is control over your destiny. It's about celebrating your wins without hesitation and learning from your losses without shame, knowing that every experience is fuel for your fire. It's about claiming space in rooms you were told you didn't belong in, speaking up when the world expects you to stay quiet, and moving with such intention that every decision you make aligns with your highest vision. Self-empowerment is choosing yourself when everyone else seems distracted, tired, or doubtful, understanding that the path to greatness is often lonely, but the rewards are unmatched. It's about refusing to compare your journey to anyone else's, because your timing, your story, and your evolution are uniquely yours, and embracing that truth without hesitation. It's about creating standards so high that settling is not an option, and refusing to compromise your dreams or values for convenience, comfort, or approval. It's about resilience, grit, and courage, the kind that pushes you to walk away from toxic situations, destructive relationships, and self-limiting habits, knowing that the power to change your life starts with you right here, right now. Self-empowerment is understanding that growth is a process, not a sprint, and that every small decision, every late-night hustle, every quiet victory compounds into the life you've been destined to live. It's about fully inhabiting your potential, showing up as the most authentic version of yourself, and realizing that when you honor your worth, respect your vision, and invest in your own evolution, the universe has no choice but to elevate you in ways you never imagined. Silence as strength is one of the most underestimated powers anyone can wield, because in a world full of noise, distractions, and people eager to be heard, choosing to stay quiet is not weakness. It's strategy, control, and self-mastery all wrapped into one. Silence allows you to observe without judgment, to listen without interruption, and to process without pressure, giving you a clarity that most people never even realize exists. When you resist the urge to respond immediately, when you hold your tongue instead of getting pulled into arguments, drama, or petty battles, you're showing that your energy is precious and your mind is sharp and your focus is unshakable. True strength is not measured by how loudly you speak, but by the weight of your presence. And silence gives you that weight. It makes people lean in, notice, and respect the power you carry quietly. There's a confidence in silence that words alone can't replicate, a magnetic pull that draws the right people toward you while repelling distractions and negativity without a single effort. Silence is your private battlefield where strategy is crafted, plans are perfected, and growth is nurtured. And anyone who tries to challenge you will never see it coming because they're too busy expecting noise, reactions, or chaos. It's in these quiet moments that you discover the depth of your own mind, the intensity of your ambition, and the resilience of your spirit. Because silence forces reflection, patience, and the ability to distinguish between what truly matters and what doesn't. Using silence as strength means choosing when to speak, knowing that the right words at the right time have far more impact than constant commentary or empty declarations. It's about understanding that every word carries energy and that when you conserve your energy, you conserve your power. And that power becomes visible in your actions, your decisions, and your aura. Silence is also protection. It shields you from gossip, manipulation, and negativity while giving you a vantage point to see situations more clearly than anyone else, allowing you to act decisively rather than react impulsively. In silence, you learn the art of patience, the beauty of timing, and the value of self-restraint, because sometimes the loudest statement you can make is no statement at all. It's about mastering the balance between observation and participation, understanding that you don't have to validate every thought, prove yourself to everyone, or defend every action, because real strength lies in knowing that your worth and your success are independent of external approval. Silence gives you control over your narrative. It allows you to rise above chaos, avoid unnecessary conflict, and maintain dignity in situations where most people would falter, speak prematurely, or regret their words later. It's about turning inward, reconnecting with yourself, and trusting that the universe, your instincts, and your preparation will speak louder than any argument or explanation ever could. Silence is not emptiness, it's a reservoir of power, focus, and self-respect that, when tapped into, transforms every challenge into an opportunity, every distraction into a lesson, and every moment of stillness into a statement of dominance. When you master silence as strength, you become untouchable in ways that words cannot replicate. You make calculated moves while others react emotionally. You plan your rise while others argue over irrelevant noise. And you attract attention without demanding it because your calm presence speaks volumes about your confidence, your vision, and your discipline. It's a form of quiet rebellion against the chaos, a refusal to be pulled into unnecessary battles, and an affirmation that your energy is too valuable to waste on anything or anyone that doesn't serve your growth. Silence teaches you the power of restraint, the beauty of mystery, and the influence of anticipation. And when wielded intentionally, it becomes a signature of those who are not only in control of themselves, but also of the world. Their shaping selective energy investment is one of the most powerful moves you can make in life, because not all people, opportunities, or situations deserve your time, focus, or passion. And understanding this distinction separates the mediocre from the unstoppable. Every ounce of energy you have is precious, finite, and irreplaceable. And when you learn to direct it intentionally toward what truly aligns with your vision, goals, and growth, you multiply your power and impact exponentially. It's about recognizing that attention is currency. And when you spend it on distractions, negativity, or people who drain instead of uplift, you devalue yourself and sabotage your own momentum. Investing energy selectively means being strategic. It's about saying no to what doesn't serve you, even if it's popular, convenient, or socially expected, and saying yes only to the people, projects, and experiences that move you closer to your purpose. It's about understanding that not everyone will understand your choices, and that's fine, because your focus isn't for approval, it's for results, progress, and transformation. Selective energy investment teaches you the art of boundaries, of discernment, and of prioritization, because when you protect your mental, emotional, and physical energy, you create a fertile space where growth, creativity, and success can flourish without interruption. It's about being intentional with your time, because every minute spent on the wrong things is energy stolen from your future. And the most powerful people in the world are those who guard the resources as fiercely as they pursue their dreams. This principle extends to relationships, conversations, and commitments. It's recognizing who lifts you higher and who keeps you stuck, who inspires and challenges you and who distracts or drains you, and then choosing to engage only with the former. It's about being selective with where you show up emotionally, mentally, and physically, because giving your energy to things that don't matter leaves you depleted, scattered, and vulnerable to stagnation. Investing energy selectively also means investing in yourself first, your growth, your skills, your vision, your health, and your happiness. Because when you are full, focused, and fortified, you can contribute to others without losing yourself in the process. It's about learning to walk away from toxic situations, unproductive discussions, and unnecessary obligations. Understanding that these are not signs of weakness, but marks of wisdom, discipline, and foresight. Selective energy investment is a form of empowerment because it places control squarely in your hands. It's the conscious choice to decide where you devote your strength, passion, and attention, and to refuse to be manipulated by external pressures or distractions. It's about cultivating patience and foresight because rushing to invest energy everywhere dilutes results, whereas careful, deliberate focus multiplies influence, impact, and satisfaction. This mindset transforms how you approach work, relationships, personal development, and even leisure. It teaches you to engage fully when it matters and disengage without guilt when it doesn't, creating a life where every action is intentional and every resource is honored. Selective energy investment also aligns with self-respect, because when you are deliberate about where you put yourself, you communicate to the world and to yourself that your time, attention, and effort are not negotiable, that your vision is sacred, and that you refuse to settle for mediocrity. It is the difference between running in circles, trying to please everyone, and marching forward with precision toward what truly matters. And then it separates the dreamers from the doers, the distracted from the disciplined, and the overwhelmed from the empowered. It's about recognizing that energy spent on negativity, gossip, envy, or low-value commitments is energy stolen from your growth, your creativity, your happiness, and your legacy, and it takes courage, self-awareness, and clarity to cut off those drains unapologetically. Selective energy investment becomes a lifestyle, a filter, and a superpower when practiced consistently, because it ensures that your focus, determination, and vitality are always aligned with your highest priorities and your ultimate vision for your life, and it transforms every choice, interaction, and effort into an intentional, strategic, and powerful step toward the extraordinary. 2026 is not just another year on the calendar. It's a declaration, a reset, and a turning point, the kind of moment where everything you've worked for, endured, and dreamed about converges into a chance to level up in ways you never imagined. And understanding this gives you an edge that most people will never feel. It's the year where excuses lose their power, distractions fall away, and clarity emerges, forcing you to confront the truth of your ambitions, your actions, and your potential with unflinching honesty. A turning point is not about waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal conditions. It's about deciding right now that you will take control, that you will make 2026 the year where hesitation ends and boldness begins. It's about recognizing that time is a currency that won't wait, and if you don't spend it wisely, the year will pass without leaving the mark you intended. 2026 as a turning point is about perspective. It's seeing every challenge not as a setback, but as a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary push that shapes your character, sharpens your strategy, and strengthens your resilience. It's about approaching every day with intention, knowing that the smallest actions, when compounded over a year, create momentum that can transform your life completely, and that the choices you make now will echo far beyond December 31st. This is the year to leave behind the habits, people, and mindsets that no longer serve you, and to embrace the ones that elevate, inspire, and empower you to reach higher than you ever thought possible. It's a year to rewrite your narrative, to silence the internal doubts that have held you back, and to step into a version of yourself that commands respect, influence, and success. 2026 as a turning point is about courage, the courage to make difficult decisions, to take calculated risks, and to trust in your own vision even when the world doesn't understand it. It's about the power of focus, because when you direct all your energy toward your goals and remove the noise, the distractions, and the unnecessary drama, your path forward becomes clear and unstoppable. This is the year where resilience is tested, patience is rewarded, and persistence becomes the defining trait of those who rise above mediocrity. It's about making a conscious choice to stay silent when others are loud, to work when others are distracted, and to shine without needing validation, recognition, or applause. 2026 is a turning point because it allows you to own your time, your decisions, and your growth, refusing to let the past dictate your future or let circumstances define your destiny. It's about understanding that transformation doesn't happen overnight, but that consistent, intentional effort in the right direction compounds into breakthroughs that feel almost impossible until you achieve them. This is the year to identify what truly matters, to prioritize what aligns with your vision, and to eliminate anything that doesn't accelerate your journey forward. It's about becoming unapologetically selective with your energy, your focus, and your time, knowing that every interaction, every commitment, and every choice is a building block for the life you are creating. 2026 as a turning point is also about empowerment. It's the realization that you hold the keys to your own evolution, that no one else is responsible for your success, happiness, or growth, and that the power to change your story is entirely in your hands. It's about seeing setbacks as setups for comebacks, obstacles as opportunities to grow, and challenges as invitations to rise higher. This year demands action, vision, and relentless determination, because the moment you hesitate, procrastinate, or settle, you risk letting this turning point pass without leaving the legacy you're capable of. It's a year for calculated moves, quiet dominance, and strategic evolution. And it's a year that, if embraced fully, can transform ordinary effort into extraordinary results, fleeting opportunities into long-term victories, and dreams into a reality that others will envy, admire, and aspire to emulate. So in 2026, focus on yourself, protect your energy, embrace silence as power, and move with intention. Because when you invest in your growth, choose wisely where your strength flows, and rise strategically, nothing can stop the unstoppable version of you.